What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of A Quarantine Day in the Neighborhood. And over here today, I actually have a special guest. This is Stu Boyd. And I've been following him for a good minute. And I actually found him because there's a guy on social media. His name is Jonathan Belle. And he's also known as Black Superman. And he was in a documentary that this gentleman made and directed and shot. And I thought I'd take advantage of this opportunity to reach out to him. So Stu, thank you for coming on. How are you doing today?
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing yourself?
I'm doing all right, man. Just staying indoors.
Yeah,
Nothing much I can do. I'm just trying to stay productive. I thought I'd just talk to you a little bit about the making of that documentary, and then maybe what other projects you're working on, and your aspirations and your ambitions.
yeah. So I will take you back to the I will take you back to the beginning.
Okay.
I had been following Jonathan Belle for maybe 2 years on Twitter, something like that. But I am from Tennessee, so he was on the West Coast. So I was like, dang, I really want to shoot him, but how can I make this happen? So life happens. I end up moving to Newark, New Jersey. Never been to the Northeast. It's my first time in this area. So I'm like, okay, this is cool. And it just so happened that he was doing a road trip and he was coming out this way. So I was like, would you look at that? Let me reach out to him and see if we can make something happen. So he was in New York, but I wasn't able to shoot him because our schedules didn't line up. So the following week, he was in Philly. So I got on the train, went to Philly, and we I think we shot on a Saturday. Yeah, we spent most of Saturday shooting and exploring and hanging out and all of that. So that was really cool. Yeah, so that's how we met and got that going. But going into it, I knew I wanted to tell his story because I saw that he has a really interesting life. Like,
Yeah, he does.
he literally like gets in his van, he lives out of his van, and he like drives around taking pictures, meeting people, doing these talking, engaging events and whatnot. And I think that's so cool. And he literally does it like wearing a Superman suit. Like that blows my mind.
Yeah.
Like I've been to a lot of Comic Cons, but a Comic Con, you dress up and you go, and then after you leave, you take it off. Like you don't really make, I guess, a life out of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it
And
makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, and he does that, and I think that's so awesome. So I wanted to reach out and tell his story. So I started to think about questions I wanted to ask, what kind of shots I wanted. Um, yeah. So it's called Man of Hope because I believe what he's doing and his approach and just his viewpoint on life, I think it can inspire other people. So I wanted to play off the whole Man of Steel thing and turn it into Man of Hope. And I feel like the film did its job in inspiring people and getting people to think outside of the box.
Yeah.
And just to get people to think about what they want their life to look like in terms of, do they want a job that they hate every day, or do they want to be doing something that they actually love doing and they love waking up doing it? So that's why I wanted to create Man of Hope. Yeah. Oh, but as you said, I did have to shoot it as well. So for all of my documentary projects, I've had to shoot myself, which can be challenging at times because sometimes I want to be in the camera and, I want to be in the camera, well, on camera, asking questions and whatnot. And it's hard to do that when you have one camera and you have to shoot it yourself, you know. So those are challenging times. It was also very cold that day. So I don't know if you remember, but when I'm interviewing him and it's like an archway behind him and it's like graffiti on the wall,
Yeah.
it was between like 20 and 30 degrees down there. And there was really no sun down there either. So it was freezing. So I was super appreciative of him for being willing to shoot in those conditions because that suit is like tight. So he was freezing. Like even his nose is red in the film too.
I would have never known that. I
Yeah,
really appreciate you sharing that. That's actually pretty cool. Some really cool behind the scenes info over there. And it took you all day to make it.
yeah,
Wow, that's awesome, man. So
yeah,
it
yeah.
took
So like going into it, I had looked up places that I wanted to shoot in,
mhm,
and then I looked into places that I wanted to shoot in, and then the questions that I created, I wanted to tailor those questions to where we were going to be shooting. So like for the locations, in one place we're shooting in this park, kind of with the archway that you saw, and
yeah.
then we also shot on the Rocky Steps, and then we also shot within his van. So some of those questions in the van, I thought it would have worked perfectly to accent that. So like questions like, why do you choose to live in a van? What is the lifestyle like? You know, stuff like that. And I definitely knew I wanted to capture him changing in the van. I definitely knew I wanted that. So that's why I opened the film up with that. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought it was really, um, what is it, like an eye opener to start it. It's like, what is he doing? Who's this guy in the van putting on a Superman costume?
Yeah, that's pretty parallel too to the comics because I think in some
Yeah,
comics you see him like change in the car and then come out as Superman. So that's pretty cool.
exactly.
Yeah. So
Yeah, exactly.
you shot it all in
Yeah.
one day, and how long did it take you to edit it and that like how long did it take you to do that?
Yeah. I want to say maybe a month and a half, I believe.
Okay, so about a month.
Yeah, there are like different versions of it, and of course, the one you saw, that's the one I went with. But it was really, um, it was quite something when I was putting it together because I didn't know if I wanted because basically I didn't want it to be too long, right? So some of his answers and some of the takes we did, he gave like really long answers,
Right.
but I but for some of the questions, I decided to go with some of his shorter answers because I know people's attention spans are like this. Like
Hmm.
people's attention spans are really short, really small. So I wanted to condense it. Um, I think he deserves to have a feature made about him one day. That's what I think. Yeah. Hopefully that can happen at some point.
Yeah,
But
that would be
yeah,
pretty cool. I would watch that for sure. I definitely would watch that. I've been following him for a good minute. Superman is one of my favorite superheroes, and what I really like about him is he just seems like a very genuine, pure soul. You know, like you really get a sense of who he is. You know, and obviously he's somebody that doesn't give a fuck because I
right.
think that's another reason why I like him too is because he's living his life the way that he wants to, and he's wearing a Superman suit and he's flaunting it, and kind of like how you said, how most people would normally wear that during Comic-Con, and then after that,
Mhm.
he still flaunts it, so that's pretty cool. But one quality that I like about you that I thought that what you said that really resonated with me is you seem like you're somebody that really goes on an adventure. You know, you're somebody that was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go take the train to Philly. How long was the train ride?
It was about an hour,
Okay,
and it's interesting. I had never been to Philly, so when I got there, I'm like, all right, I'm here. Let's make it happen.
nice,
Luckily, I have a close friend who lives in Philly, so he allowed me to stay with him the night.
nice.
Cause yeah, I got there on a Friday night, and then we shot that all of that Saturday. But yeah, I had never been to Philly, so it was really interesting. I was like, I don't know how this day is gonna go, but we're just gonna go with it, and nothing is gonna stop us from making this happen today.
That's
Well,
cool.
that day.
How long had you been planning on making this?
About him,
Like,
really, since I started following him, because originally I wanted to take his pictures because I like taking pictures of like cosplayers. So originally I was like, dang, I wish I could shoot him. But then after following him more and more and like reading his blog posts on his website, I was like, huh, what if like a documentary was made about him? Like, I think that would be really cool. I think that'll really inspire people. So that's when I went out and did that. I was actually surprised that he responded to my DM on Twitter. I was very surprised because I view him as like being a celebrity. So I'm like, huh, he actually responded. That's wild. But yeah, it all worked out though. He's a super chill dude, by the way.
Yeah, he seems
Super
like it.
chill.
He's also a Green Lantern fan as well. That's another reason why I like him. So
I know. Yeah, he's got a Green Lantern symbol tattoo. Yeah, it's really cool.
yeah. So about yourself as a filmmaker, um,
Mhm.
is there other projects that you've done besides this, and is there other projects that you plan to do like in the future? Like what's your overall like goals and ambitions?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great question. Um, let's see. I think I've done 3 documentaries before I shot Jonathan. I did one documentary that was bringing together different Black businesses here in Newark, New Jersey.
Okay.
Just and the overall thing was like Black ownership, entrepreneurship, um, the hardships and the successes that come with that. Blah blah blah. I also did. Oh, sorry. I know I'm like
That's
rambling,
all
but
good.
like my
Yeah.
my first documentary I shot in college, and uh, it was basically about code switching. So like for Black people, sometimes we find ourselves having to like turn off the Blackness per se when we're in certain white spaces.
Yeah.
And I took that approach and applied it to um, some of my peers because I attended a predominantly white institution. So like I took that and applied it to some of my Black peers, and just talk about their experiences and whatnot, and how they feel about certain things that took place on campus. And then I also shot a I was actually paid for this documentary. This was one about this Indian American guy who's like really wealthy, really well off. He was a doctor. He had this horrible car accident, and it really literally changed his life. So like he ended up having to get a fake ankle done, and that made him. It basically gave him a wake up call, similar to Jonathan. So something that he did that was really cool. He climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. I think in a week. I think that's how long it took him. But like he did this as an old man. Like he's like 60 with a fake ankle. Like that still blows my mind. And like in the film, he like talks about like his experience in terms of like culture in India and then culture in America, finding himself like being pulled in both directions, not really sure how he identifies or fits in life and society and all of that. Um, but yeah, that was a documentary I was actually paid to do. So that was interesting to me because I had, up until that point, someone had never come to me and said, "Hey, I want to pay you this to make this about me." So yeah.
How long
Um,
was that?
Say it again.
How long ago was that documentary? The one that
Oh,
you just talked about?
uh, that was last year actually,
That was last year.
around March, I think. Yeah, yeah. Journey of Haresh. Yeah, and then so one, two. So those are 3 documentaries I did. Plus Jonathan would be 4. But I also did a short film called Dear White Church last summer, and that was a passion. Project of mine. Very short film. I think it's like 8 minutes, and it's basically meant to explore the hypocrisies within like the white church as an institution, and then just highlighting certain things that they do or say or practice that contradicts what they say they believe in. So like, um, that's what that film is about. I think you should check it out. Those are some of the themes that it explores. So if you notice, a lot of my work focus on like race related things.
Yeah.
That's just because that's just something that I'm positive. I mean, not positive. That's something that I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
So that's why in all of my projects, I try to incorporate like a racial theme of
Yeah.
sorts.
Yeah, I will actually definitely will check that out. Actually, I will watch those this weekend for sure because I do like to support independent filmmakers. So I will check that out. Um,
Oh, dope.
yeah, you remind me.
Yeah.
I'm sure you probably get this sometimes, but you do remind me like of Spike Lee. Do you get that sometimes?
Yeah, I get that a lot actually.
Yeah, I just started watching a lot of his films recently. I saw Do the Right Thing recently, and then I saw that about a couple years ago.
Nice.
And last year I saw School Days, and I love that movie. That movie was good.
Yeah. Have you seen Black Klansman?
Yes. Yeah, I saw that too.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I really liked it a lot. I thought the performances were really good on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Adam Driver's great. Topher Grace was really good in that.
Yeah.
But I think that might have. I'm trying to think. I don't remember if that was the first movie that I saw. But if you ever come to LA, I think one of the things that you'll really like about here is they always play like old movies on a lot of the theaters. So at the Egyptian Theater, they had a double feature of Do the Right Thing and Crooklyn, and that was the first time that I saw that movie on the big screen, and I was blown away because
That's so cool.
yeah, because I grew up I'm half Nicaraguan and I'm half German, and my mom is a little bit more liberal and my father's more conservative, so I never really got into Spike Lee because there was always this dialogue about him about, oh, Spike Lee, he's diverse and he's really like polarizing, and so I kind of had this one idea of him, and I never saw any of his movies. But then when I saw Do the Right Thing on the big screen, I was blown away. I was blown away, and then and then that was like, okay, wow, I really need to get on. I need to start seeing more of his movies. And then I saw, what was it? Is it the same movie? No. Then I saw School Days.
Gotcha.
And then and I love the music. And that was another thing too. It was just,
oh, it's so good.
the music's incredible. And everything that every presupposition that I had of Spike Lee just like went down the drain. I was like, you don't know somebody's work until you actually sit down and you actually watch it for yourself, and I have a tremendous amount of respect. And actually that night when I went to go see Do the Right Thing, there actually was a live Q&A and Spike Lee was there and I got to hear him, and that was really cool. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, man, it was super cool. Yeah, he was really cool. He was really chill. But wow. So do you ever plan on coming out on LA or like and maybe kind of pushing forward with that, or how do you do that?
You mean like career-wise?
Yeah, career-wise, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. I will say it really just depends on how life goes.
Okay.
I know this sounds like a generic answer, but it's true. Like, it really just depends. Like, I never thought that I would be into like photography or film or anything. Like, that didn't even cross my mind going into college, and like in the fall, I'll be going off to Emerson to study film for 3 years. Yeah, it's a 3-year program. So after that, depending on what I've done and what people or jobs like I'm able to apply to and get and whatnot, it really just depends. And if something is in LA, and it pays nice, then I'm not opposed to it. Because I visited last year over spring break actually, and it's a very interesting place. It's huge.
Yeah.
The people are interesting. Like, everyone is free in LA, and that still blows my mind. Growing up in the South, it's not the case.
Yeah.
But every and anything goes in LA. So it's like, wow, this exists like in this country. Like, how is this possible?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I'm not opposed to it though.
What parts of so you were here in LA? Was it last spring break?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What part of you said you were here for a week? Were there any places that you saw that you're like, wow, that's was there any places that you got to eat at that you thought was really cool?
Yeah, we went to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. We stopped by Gibson's Donuts. Where else did we eat? We went to a Mexican spot. I don't remember the name of it though. We visited some beaches, some touristy spots and whatnot. It's just so hard to do everything you want to do in LA though,
Yep.
because
Yep.
it's huge.
Yeah.
Everything is spread out. And then time is an issue, and then money, of course. Like you gotta have money to do some of these things. But I enjoyed my time though. Like it was really cool. We got to visit San Francisco as well, just for a bit. But no, it was cool. I didn't know you were living in LA.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
actually
until you messaged me and told me about the time thing, and I was like, oh, he's in LA.
yeah, I'm about like probably about 15 minutes away from Hollywood. So if you're ever out here again next time and you want to kick it and grab some grub, I'm definitely down.
Yeah.
As far as, because I do know that you like another thing I like about you too is I really do like your tweets. Like every time you tweet something, I'm like, you know, because the thing is like some people you know they post some things and I mean you just kind of casually see like what's on their mind, but I would say most of all the things that you tweet I really resonate with, and so like when I see a tweet of yours I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool, like, oh, that's pretty cool. So it's like a nice addition to my stream of tweets, because I'm normally rooted from Facebook, and I just started really getting into Twitter about 3 years ago or so. But going into comic books and characters and obviously that's probably one of the things that really drew you to Jonathan Belle. What are some of your favorite like comic book characters?
Oh, I think I'm obsessed with Batman and all of his lore. Like all of his villains, like his rogue gallery, his story, his sidekicks, his whole family. Like I think I'm obsessed with it. Like posters and shirts and jackets and all of that is wild. So like for me, he's like way up here, right? But at number two, and people are surprised when I tell them this, is Superman. Like I really love Superman too. He's just not my favorite, you know. But like if I had to give you a top 5 right now, it would probably be it would probably be Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, the John Stewart Green Lantern, Shazam, and then Wonder Woman. That's my 5.
So all DC.
Oh yeah. But like, if you ask me that question again, like in a week, I would probably change my top 5 again. Like, because like, I guess I just have these phases or moods where I get more into other characters, you know, because like I'm a huge Dr. Fate fan too. Like I love Dr. Fate, you know. But like for Marvel, I would probably say Magneto and I'll say Magneto and Thor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Magneto and Thor.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I'm not bashing Marvel, but I don't love their characters like I do a lot of DC characters.
Yeah. I'm the same way. Like the only character that I love, like my number one Marvel character, hands down, is Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. I do like the Marvel characters. I think Iron Man's cool, and I think like the Thor is cool. But for me, my favorite superheroes are Superman and Green Lantern, and I'm just starting now to get into the Flash. I'm really starting to get into him. He's pretty cool too. But yeah,
I saw him.
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah. What are your?
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, it's okay. Continue.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, one of my dreams, because I think you asked me about my goals and dreams. One of my dreams is to direct like a feature length like comic film.
Which one? Which one? Which one?
If I were to do one, it would be a Red Hood story. It would definitely be Red Hood, because mine would definitely be rated R. It would definitely be violent, if you will. So yeah, that's what I would do.
Which character in particular? Is there any character in particular you would really want to direct? Out of
Jason Todd.
okay.
Yeah, like I want to see him. Well, I want to show him becoming Red Hood. Like I want to show the Joker killing him, and then him coming back to life and whatnot. And him being pissed off at Bruce Wayne. Like that's what I want. Like I really dig that. So yeah.
Cool.
Like if Warner Brothers called me right now and said we're giving you this much money to make whatever you want, then that's something that I would jump right into.
Right on, man. Hey, I respect that, man. I think when you know, if you have goals like that and you write them down and you see them every day, I think it's just a matter of time, you know, when something like that can happen, you know. As far as, I guess, because we're running a little bit low on time, my last two questions I wanted to ask you, what are some of your favorite movies, like that just your all-time favorite movies, and then who are your greatest influences?
Okay. I have I have a lot of favorite movies.
Yeah.
So I'll give you like three that come to the top of my head. The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a horror one. Well, a thriller. I really love Signs. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah.
I like both Signs. Like I could throw that on at any time and still be entertained. And then probably I'm gonna go with dang, this is hard. I'll go with Arrival. Yeah. The science fiction space alien type movie. I'll go with Arrival.
Okay.
Yeah. And then as far as my like biggest influences, I'll go with Spike Lee, Jordan Peele, and Ava DuVernay. Yeah, those are my three that I like. I really dig their work, and I look up to them. Like, yeah, because like Ava's story is so cool to me. Like she didn't start filming until like she was 32 years old.
Yeah,
and now she's like Oscar nominated. Like she's been tapped to do the New Gods DC film. Like she's getting like hit up to do a lot of different projects. And like she got started when she was around 32. So that definitely gives me hope when I think about what my future can look like.
Oh, totally, man. Yeah, I mean, I totally support what you're doing, man. And you know, I think as long as you keep creating, man, it wouldn't surprise me if you came out in LA and you know started making stuff out here. So I mean, you have my support. You know, however I can help. I'm really glad that you did this with me. One, thank you for your time. And are you looking forward to Candyman?
I was so upset when they had to move it.
Yeah.
Like actually, like this whole Corona thing.
Yeah.
The part that makes me the most upset is that the theaters are closed, which means movie releases are being pushed back. Like that actually makes me upset.
Yeah.
Like I miss movie popcorn. I miss sitting in a theater. It's all gone now.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time, man. But we'll be okay, and you know, everything passes. Just another thing that passes through. But I think we're good on time, my friend. I just want to say thank you very much, Mr. Stu Boyd, for your time. I'm going to put a link on the bottom of the documentary, and then I'm also going to check out your other documentaries as well. Those do interest me, and yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome, guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
All right, thank you.